good evening. Tonight, it is my honor to welcome you to a most unique celebration here at the iconic Radio City Music Hall. It is our privilege to present this homage to all the frontline healthcare workers who have placed themselves in harm's way for the betterment of humanity. I've always believed that music is something essential to the human existence, a kind of connective tissue, if you will, that reaches across borders, across categories, across neighborhoods, and unites all of us. At Montefiore Einstein, we have a strong history of using music as a joyful, uniting, healing force. Tonight, thanks to this spectacular theater, an incredible array of musical stars, all of them New Yorkers, are joining together to salute our healthcare heroes, all coming together for an evening of tribute and joy. Now, joining us is a Grammy-nominated singer, musical superstar, Bibi Rexha.
This first song is called Me, Myself, and I. Woo, it's just me, myself, and I. Solo right until I die. Cause I got me for life. Woo, I don't need her in a hole. Even when the night is cold, I got that fire in my soul. I've seen better days, better towns. My love is all used up and it brings me down. Can't seem to get it right, this crazy life.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Etc. There's a lot of numbers. I think in chat we'll hear this in a second. Are you listening to radio for background music? No. There was that for a second. Welcome everybody. I before I do proper introductions and everything, I just want to make sure that the sound is okay, and then I'll be like, welcome to the show. We've got some great guests tonight, and happy birthday, Gamer Alliance. Okay, we're good.
Happy birthday.
Fantastic. Welcome everybody to the 5th episode of this crazy experiment called the PockCast. I don't know how I got such these are great people. These are great people, and I don't know. You're gonna hear more about them tonight. Unjacked and my 170. I don't know which one of you guys to start with first. I'm just going to flip a coin and say you guys choose.
Right.
My 170. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, go ahead. So my name is Mike. My handle is my170, but I go by my actual name is Mike. I am mostly a variety streamer. I stream a lot of Nintendo and retro games, and I just like being here and hanging out with Pocket. It's a great time. I'm very glad to be here.
Mike is great, and when I saw his name was Mike, I was like, I've known him for 3 months, and I don't know his name. His name's Mike.
My name is I'm a chill guy.
Yeah, he's a chill guy. I'm like, oh man. Yes, exactly, Advanced Trash. And then as well, we've got Unjacked, who it has the best setup. Even though every once in a while you might catch it, my computer decides to mess it up. It will do like a green. Anywho, you'll see.
That's right. It's amazing what $50 LED lights can do for you.
That's $50 of LED lights. Nice.
Yeah. That's not that bad, right? You just put a little bit right there. But anyway, I'm Unjacked. I'm a variety streamer, but I'm more of a social streamer. See, every single day that I stream, I trick my audience into listening to my 5-hour podcast by playing some simple game on the screen like Among Us or Balloons or whatever. Whatever holds their attention, that's my job, to manipulate them into listening to me. I live in New Hampshire here in the U.S. I've been a streamer since I think 1981. And,
What? No, you were not streaming in.
No, I'm sorry, gaming, not streaming.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just gaming.
Not like the Tom
There's
Green
no
days.
internet in 1981.
I've been entertaining since 1981. How about that?
Okay, there you go.
Right in my living room with my brother and sister. And I grew up. I learned how to like speak in front of people, and now I love doing it live on Twitch. So that's me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been because the three of us are all from different generations.
Yes.
Well, me debatably.
No. So yeah, so we went over this right before the podcast. We've got a lot of great stories to go through, but just to give you guys context, I'm a '90s kid. My 170 is '96, and unjacked. You said '81.
No, I'm actually born in 1978.
78. Yes,
Yeah.
but 81 you started messing.
81, right about 3 years old. I started with the Intellivision. Do you guys know what that is?
I have heard about that one.
Yes.
So it
That
looks
was
like
made
a
by-
phone with a number pad, and it has a dial. And I learned how to play Burger Time.
I saw the
yes.
Angry Video Game Nerd episode on that. It had like the dial pad controls and the disc.
Yep.
Yeah, my first system was the GameCube back in 2002. I was born in '96, but I didn't actually get I don't even know when I got a GameCube. But I remember I got that, and my first game was Mario Sunshine, so I'm a bit of a baby compared to y'all here.
That's a great game, though.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
And I started with the NES, I guess. I mean, we had an NES lying around, but my first real console, I guess, was the Super Nintendo and then the N64. So we had those big jumps, you know? And I guess that's how video gaming gripped me, because it's like, oh, you think this is cool, like you get a taste with the NES. Well, here's the Super NES, and now 3 dimensions, baby. Another small thing, if you guys have questions in the comments, type them, and we'll have one of the mods send them. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different topics. I've got a couple here that are I've got a bunch of notes here, stuff with Pac-Man 99, Fortnite versus Apple, Castlevania's disc, Metroid Prime 2D. There's a lot of these fun topics, but what's most interesting is the fact that we grew up in different eras.
Definitely very.
Like, I find that more interesting than all that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, what was the first game you ever got gripped into? I guess unjacked, since you are the earliest of us.
I mean, the first game I learned was Burger Time, and but that was not the game that like really gripped me. I think honestly, it was Super Mario Brothers, the original, the 8-bit. Like I can remember opening up and getting the first NES. I think it was 1984 or 6, whatever year it was that came out.
I think it was 86 when it came out.
86. So that Christmas, my mom bought the $99 set, and we played Duck Hunt for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then me and my brother would play Super Mario Brothers until we could beat it with one guy, until we could speed run it and everything.
Yeah.
So
you didn't get the Rob.
That is what gripped me.
You didn't get the Rob.
The
little robot that comes with it?
No, I did not. No, but my neighbor did have it, and we'd always go over to his house when his mom wasn't there, and we'd go play over there. RC Stunt Car or whatever it was, and then he had the little
Racers.
robot.
Stunt Race FX was, I think, an SNES title or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows with any of this stuff? Yeah. My 170. What was your first game that gripped you?
So I did mention before that Super Mario Sunshine was the first game I ever played, but I think the first game that really took it. Well, Super Mario Sunshine, I think I said. Super Mario Sunshine, yes. But beyond that, after I got my own Game Boy Advance, the game that really got me was Pokemon Sapphire, which back then in elementary school, like a lot of people were playing it. We would all trade Pokemon in battle, and it was definitely a whole thing. And I knew and I was battling with a lot of people and trading. And I felt like there was a whole lore, and I was like, it still goes strong to this day. I was known as like the Pokemon guy in high school, and I was still playing it even now. It's
all
great.
that street cred.
I could say that. I mean, I definitely had street cred. I was the Pokemon guy.
You know, Pokemon is the largest franchise in the world. It's insane. And I mean, Pokemania in the 90s was insane. Unjacked, you probably were like, what is going on here? What are these cracked out kids doing? Meanwhile, I was like, yes!
Well,
Give me
actually,
more Mons.
I got brought into that stuff from my kids, to be honest. Like,
Really?
yeah, because I've always been close. Like, I try to do things with my kids when they're little teenagers.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of my kids are all adults now, and
Yeah.
so I actually went through the craze kind of with them.
That's awesome.
You know, so yeah.
You know, the funny thing is for me is like when I was younger and I was always playing the game, I was like, you gotta do your homework. You stop playing Pokemon. You're making too much time with it. But then my sister got my mother into Pokemon Go, and now they both play it more so than I do. And then they're always asking me questions about it. And I'm like, oh, now you want all the knowledge I have about Pokemon? Now it matters to you?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's so crazy. The first game I think that gripped me, because I don't remember what age I was, but I got a Game Boy, probably a Game Boy Pocket, ironically, and I got a copy of Super Star Wars, because we had the NES and the SNES and those things were fun, but I got my own copy of the Star Wars game, and that was garbage, and so they went and they got me.
When was that?
Star Wars for the Game Boy. Look it up. It's garbage. You run around in a speeder. Yeah, you run around.
Game Boy Advance, or is this like the game?
Nope, just the Game Boy. You run around in a speeder. You go into caves and you jump over things with horrible collisions. So collision detection. And I got Wario number 2. I think that was the first game that gripped me. It was that. Wario 2, and then Pokemon, of course, gripped me. But I'd say, you know, because everything goes with the Pokemon craze, and the Pokemon craze was that big, Wario 2 was a good game.
That was a good game.
That's all I have to say.
I never actually played Wario itself. However, go ahead.
Yeah, I played the WarioWare games. The one on the Wii was amazing. It was a great. And then I got
Totally
Wario
different
Land
beast.
Shake It. But then I've also were you looking at the comments or?
Oh no, I'm saying your Wario Land is different from WarioWare.
Oh no, I played Wario Land Shake It, which I think that game is very underrated. And then when I got on the 3DS, they have the virtual console, and I played the first Wario Land and then Wario Land 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if I played 3 or not, but then there's 4 in the GBA, which I just got on the Wii U Virtual Console, which I may play at some point.
Yeah, it was actually the first Wario game. I think it was Wario Land 1, not Wario Land 2. Everyone loved Wario Land 2, but I got the one that no one cared about.
Which one was that?
It's the first Wario Land game. The reason why I'm confused about it is because there's also 6 golden coins had like a subtitle that was Wario Land 2 or something.
No. So Super Mario Land 3, it was Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. I could show you on. Actually, I'll not do that. But yeah,
either way, they made
Mario Land 2.
They made it super confusing. Question:
if you guys wouldn't mind. What kind of genre games do you guys play? Like, do you guys play and focus a lot on adventure games? Because like I'm more of like a simulator, like build it kind of guy. Like I could do Tetris, I could do Sim City, I could do City Skylines and that kind of stuff, like 2 Point Hospital.
Tetris is not a simulator game. What?
No, but it's a puzzle strategy simulator game. So like that.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean I'm more of a I'm more of a Metroidvania action platformer hack and slash type of dude with an appreciation for all of gaming, right? So like I play Picross. I've been working on some like Picross oh, I love this. My laptop's about to die. That's amazing. Classic things. So I have a huge appreciation for puzzle games as well. You know, we all grew up with Tetris. I guess no matter who we are.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think
Dr. Mario is the best version of it, just for the
really
record.
People have Puyo Puyo is my friend's favorite. I'll be right back. You guys answer that question just so that this doesn't die. Because this is gonna die soon.
well, go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
Wait, my favorite genre? Well, personally, amongst the years I play all sorts of games. I do like platformers and I do like adventure games, but I typically tend to trend towards RPGs, mostly Pokemon, as I mentioned before, but also like Paper Mario and Persona and Chrono Trigger and the Mario and Luigi games and other stuff like that too. So that's typically my go-to.
Yeah, well, when you said that you played Wario, I was like, wait a minute, this guy doesn't play the type of games I play.
No. Okay.
So that's why I wanted to ask that question.
I
Yeah.
have played Wario Land Shake It, and I played. I think I knew I have played Wario. I did play the first Wario Land, and I think I played a bit of the second one, but I have not played the third or fourth one.
What's the favorite game? What's your favorite game you ever played?
So hard to choose. I have to I can't. It's so hard to choose because I've played so many games in my 24 years of life. I mean,
All right.
I could probably. I mean, I have a favorite game from each year. I mean, but it's hard to. It's really hard to choose at this point in terms of how much time I've spent with them.
I have
All right, and we're
two.
back.
Okay, my first one's from the PlayStation 1 console. It's called A Train.
What's this? What I miss?
That's
It's favorite game?
Yeah, favorite game.
No
then
way.
My current one right now
see.
is Path of Exile, and the new
Let's
league starts
see.
this coming Friday.
Well, I saw that there's a Path of
Sure.
Exile, a sequel
Oh,
on
what's
its way, but Path of
What's
Exile
this?
is super based off of Diablo 2, which is one of my favorite games of all time.
I
Oh,
was
so
a
it's like a-
huge Diablo 2 guy.
Yeah?
So
yeah.
My
so
man.
A-Train is like a train
Yeah.
game. Like it's a train game.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
kinda
train simulator. It's amazing, and there's never been a game that duplicates it. I
Um,
finally beat it in 1997 after about 2 years.
Are we talking SimCity or are we talking like?
No, it's the game's
Yeah,
name is
person.
actually called A Train.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like Sim.
Yeah,
But I'm
it-
saying,
it-
like, is it a SimCity-esque type of game, or are you inside the train?
You can do train tours. It's more like you build it's like a railroad simulator, and the cities will build around your railroads.
Crazy.
So you kind of yeah. It's never been duplicated as far as I know. And I remember I hit $2 billion of income and I beat the game.
Because there are
Oh,
different
man.
train simulation games.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
Yeah.
I have played a lot of SimCity when I was younger, but I never understood it. Same with Roller Coaster.
Oh,
SimCity, because I played SimCity 4 when I was a kid, which is probably one of the most complex ones in terms
You were
of how
about to
much
say
stuff
Roller
it-
Coaster Tycoon too, weren't
No,
you?
I was no. I was gonna go more obscure. I always go
Oh,
more obscure. I'm a
Because that's
dork.
my jam. I can
Oh,
build
yeah?
some roller coasters. Oh yeah.
Oh, you should
Planet
see
Co-
someone who's
Planet
coming on like in
Coaster.
2 weeks. He does that. I'm sorry, 170.
I was no, never mind. I wasn't saying anything important.
Oh no, it's fine. Either way, just interrupt me. Just talk over me. I talked way too much.
No worries. No worries. I
Um,
just figured I'd ask those questions so I can get a little more info.
No,
on you,
absolutely,
gentlemen.
absolutely. I was going to say that my friend who's coming on in like maybe next week, I don't know yet, or if it's 2 weeks from now. One of them, he plays a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon on his stream.
Oh, nice.
Leadipus, and he's like he does that, and then he'll do like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do a speed run of all 3 Donkey Kong Country games in a day.
Nice.
He's a boss.
Oh.
And so, no, I was going to talk about. You were asking about simulation games. I was going to talk about
Yep.
Sim Ant and Sim Tower, which
I played both.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I played Sim Tower. I played SimCity 4,
yes.
and I've also played City Skylines, which that game's a lot of fun.
Yes. No, Sim Ant and Sim Tower are really old, and I used to love them as like the random game I'd throw on a old computer. Like if I booted up an old computer, wanted to see if it worked, if there was something I'd do, I'd just have like a floppy of Sim Tower and throw it in. Yeah.
I had forgotten completely about Sim Ant. I can remember me and my
Sim
brother
Ant-
playing it when we were little.
There's like an
And-
NES version of it too.
Yeah, and it was one of the coolest games ever. I think I bought it at a flea market and I ran home and I was like, we got to play this because I was into sim games and Sim Tower. I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I wish I was bold enough that I could play them live on Twitch.
why
But
not?
I don't feel comfortable. I don't think
Wow,
anybody would
yeah.
ever watch that.
Yeah,
know,
true.
Like
I don't know, cause it's like yeah, we all play a lot of stuff on Twitch, and I mean I can speak for myself for saying that makes me very self conscious when I'm playing things that are new or I'm learning, etc. And Unjacked, you play a lot of like co-op games, a lot of games that you're like
Yes.
right. So I see that might relieve some of that tension. My 170
it's so-
doesn't. Yeah,
It's so helpful when you play co-op games because you just let everybody else carry.
you just
you.
let them do that. Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Whatever. They
Like,
made
hey guys,
mistakes.
I showed up. Can you do it for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's really it. And meanwhile, you know what I tried doing on Twitch that I haven't gone back to so much? Programming.
What's that?
Like
Programming live?
yeah. It
I
is
actually
anxiety
have a s-
inducing.
So I have a second. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail the
No,
podcast.
it's fine,
but this
dude.
is kinda what
We're
I-
derailing
This
all
is
over
what
the
I
place.
do. All right.
This
So
is Pac-Man
exactly what I
99.
do.
You remember this is current. That's the
But,
new
like-
hotness. We're talking about
Yeah,
that maybe.
what-
We're not.
But like, I have a second Twitch channel that I haven't signed in a couple of years. But it's so by trade, I'm also a graphic designer. It's what
Oh,
I went
cool.
to college for and everything. And so I used to own a website called Millustrator, and I basically do military illustrations and I
Cool.
sell them as graphic packs. But I always wanted to do it live on
Do
Twitch,
it.
so people. I can't. I don't think anybody would ever watch it.
Do it. I know, right?
It's a tough thing to choose when you're starting out, and then, or if you just, even if you're going, if you even have a lot of fun, it's tough
Even-
to choose.
Even me,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna play this one day. Are people gonna be there? And I have my mods.
Yeah.
My mods are fantastic. They're like, play whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
we care about your vibe, and that's really all. And I don't know. I mean, I came from watching other YouTubers, YouTube personalities, watching them all the time, and from learning their styles. From watching them over and over, I saw, hey, it doesn't matter what game they're playing, as long as they're having a good time. That really is what matters the most. The game is cool and all, but that's what matters the most to me. Having said that, it's not easy. And also,
Yeah.
I'm programming. If I hit an error, I have to sit there debugging it. I'm not gonna be entertaining the entire time.
And
This
that's
is-
what I'm
not just-
afraid of by drawing.
I,
So
I mean,
Yeah,
people
exactly.
come for the game and stay for the person. That's typically how it goes.
yeah.
But unjacked, I will say you could do this with Among Us in the background. You could draw. This is what I
Have a little-
did.
Have a little picture of Among Us right here.
No, you
and
do
then
it-
have Illustrator up on the rest.
No, you do it the opposite. You do it the opposite way, and you switch
Oh,
between them.
I got you. Be
I did
like, Hey
this.
guys, it's break time.
Yeah, no,
Here
it's
we
just
go.
like, okay, here's
Into a
here's
chat.
the progress I've made, and then yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be interesting.
I did a little bit of that. I also just didn't show the screen itself. I just told them what it was. But
What-
I
Yeah. One day when I channel my inner Bob Ross, I will. I will.
oh, I
engage
cannot
that.
wait for that day. Just send me a quick DM. I am in for it.
I will. I will.
Let's get one article out of the way. It's not even an article on the list. Pac-Man 99. It's
Oh.
just it's not an article
And-
on the list, but
Oh, okay.
it is
Yeah,
something that
so-
happened. Pac-Man 99 has happened.
Mhm.
Mario 35 is dead. Rest in spaghetti, Mario. We have
Rest in-
yes.
Yeah,
Have you tried? Yes, My 170. What are your initial impressions? I guess.
yeah, I've played it, and it's definitely. I think it's pretty good. I think it is better. I think it in some ways is better than Tetris 99 because I feel like beyond being good at Pac-Man, there is a lot more strategy involved to it than just being good at the game. Like Tetris, if you're good at Tetris, you could easily win out even as you're being attacked. But with Pac-Man, it feels like there is some more strategy to it. I guess to be fair, I guess Pac-Man is a bit more complex than Tetris itself, but I feel like there is more strategy involved in Pac-Man than Tetris.
It was interesting to me because with Tetris 99, I'm just not good at Tetris. So I wasn't really into it, and I would die a lot, etc. I don't know if it's a better game than Pac-Man 99. I just happen to be better at Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And so Mario 35, on the other hand, which if any of you don't know any of these games, it's Battle Royale, but instead of being dropped onto an island like in
Fortnite.
Fortnite, you're all playing a game of Tetris, Mario, or Pac-Man, depending on the game you're playing. With Mario 35, it felt more, I guess, rigged in a sense where like you could just play slowly. You could like play strategically in like specific levels. So if people did better, they'd send you more enemies. But if you're in an easier level, you'll probably die slower anyways. While Pac-Man 99, see, it's just one level. It's a very standard level, and it's I don't know. They found a way to make it compelling. I think they have the same teams working on this. I didn't take a look, so don't quote me on it. But it feels like the same teams are working on these games, and they're getting better at it with Pac-Man 99.
I kind of love that they that this is still kind of like the rage.
Yeah.
In 2021, that people still want to play these old boards like this. I think it's really impressive.
It's
and I think
only
it says a
1-1.
lot about the game. Yeah, but I mean, it speaks a lot to like
Yeah.
the incredible like the quality of this game because Pac-Man is an old favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I only played it a little bit growing up, but like
On
in
the
the
Atari
arcade.
2600.
Yeah, exactly. Or in the arcade, but
Yeah.
I haven't played this myself. I have been thinking about picking up a Nintendo Switch for myself and trying out some of this stuff.
Yeah, you really gotta get on the Switch bandwagon. It's so,
Yeah, so
it's so fun.
yeah, the thing with these games is that they're still timeless because they're very simple and easy to pick up and play for all generations to enjoy. Like
Yeah.
even when I was younger, my first experience with Pac-Man myself was I had one of those plug and play machines that came with like a few
Oh, yeah.
pre-selected games. It was like one of those Namco ones. I probably have it downstairs. It had Pac-Man, Dig Dug. I think it had another. It had like a racing game, and it had what else it had? I had some, but the point is, yeah, I still get to play a lot of those games, and they're still fun to play even now. And they find new ways to make it more fun.
It's just a great game, right? Pac-Man's just a timeless classic. The Atari one was a joke because the Atari's infamous.
Except the Atari one, we don't talk about that.
But it's real.
I don't know why it's bad. My Atari doesn't work. I haven't been able to get an Atari to work. I don't think I've ever played an Atari. I haven't been able to get it to work. But I have Pac-Man for it, and I'm just waiting. I have to go get it modded. So I can get that RGB out, because you can't plug that into a modern television. You just can't.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. What is the input? What is the output for it?
It's like coax or something.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Dude,
I guess
it's ridiculous.
Hang on,
it's the old school stuff.
Again, yeah, there's a huge disconnect between because when did they start using RCA for stuff? Like, did the NES use it?
Mid '90s or something.
It was really the PlayStation 1 is.
I mean, I know that
they
had the RCA the SNES had.
I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna mix up all my inputs on for this stuff. But the three cords, the 3 cable cord is on the SNES. I think on all versions of the SNES.
I think the SNES also had the RCA cables, and I think it worked. Yeah. It used the same cables for the SNES, the GameCube, and the Nintendo 64. Like the one I have for my N64
too.
Yeah, my RCA cable for my N64 also works for my GameCube, and I would presume it also works for a Super NES. But I don't have one.
It does.
Wait, when did? Well, the Super NES came out in 1991. Didn't the PlayStation also do that?
No, well,
96 or 97.
The PlayStation I think came out. Hang on, I think it came out in 95. Let me check. Hang on, PlayStation 1.
PS1 was July 2000. Oh no, this is not
yeah, 1995 in North America. That was around, and
not to be confused with the PlayStation 1. Yeah.
And then the Saturn came out the same year, which that was a debacle in and of itself. And then the N64 came out in 96.
Yeah, the PlayStation was like right before the N64 and everything.
Yeah.
Which is a whole thing. Okay.
Like I said, it's nice to see a lot of these old games continue.
There's so
today,
many. There's so many that are just continuing. It's so great. And you see, I mean, you probably haven't seen Pac-Man 99, but they have all these packs of all these other games that were Atari games, because Pac-Man's Atari, right? So it's all these different Atari games that you can skin Pac-Man into for like a couple bucks. So
amazing.
Yeah, so if you were like I don't know, I assume Galaga, let's say, fan, you could skin it as Galaga and you'd be a spaceship and the other people would be like enemy spaceships. It's great.
Yeah, I love modern gaming. It's just
so good.
What you can do with it is incredible.
Like even during the pandemic, when we're all able, there's so many games we can all play with each other. Like a lot of different games below, like Jackbox especially. That's one that everyone's able to play with each other.
Yeah.
Even from your own homes. That's I think that was one that we can all play together, which is a lot of fun. I was like back when the lockdown started, I had my friends over every Friday night on Discord, and we would just play Jackbox together.
You know, I'll say that's one of the few things that probably got me through this far, as far as the pandemic goes. As a streamer, like I didn't start streaming really until February 3rd in 2020. So like right before we all started going lockdown.
Yeah.
And I was really glad I was playing very social games, like co-op. So I played BTD6, balloons. I played Jackbox. I'm playing Among Us. Like I'm playing games that require social interaction because I can't leave my house. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but that's a big thing, a reason why I do what I do.
Yeah, I mean, because I started playing a lot of games over when everything started down. But then I realized because I'm playing all these games myself, and then by the time like when it was August, I started streaming myself in August of last year. So I haven't been at this that long. But then I decided I wanted to play all these games. I want to have an audience, so I have some audience, especially if I try to do something hard. So that's why I started doing it, and I've had a lot of fun doing it myself, and I brought my friends into it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want an excuse to play video games and not feel guilty about it.
In fact, I think they're in the
That was
audience.
it.
So I think they're in the audience right now. So if you're here, hi Kim, hey Rich. I brought them here.
Yeah, Kim and Rich. Shout out to my boys, Kim and.
Good to see him.
I'm gonna feel guilty as that guy who doesn't know the people, but it's yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to play games. I don't know why. It just felt less guilty to be like, yeah, I'm spending 4 hours a night playing it, but I'm playing it to entertain people. So look at that.
Yeah. It's like it's like you have people on your couch when they come over, and then you get to talk to people too.
Exactly.
So that's fun.
Exactly. I want to give that couch experience. So in a second, we'll move over to a couple news articles. I've got one, and we can go between things. It really doesn't matter. You said modern gaming, so I kind of have to bring up. I really shouldn't.
What?
Some musical artist, Lil Nas X, released a twerking game on made in Unity and released a twerking game.
Wait, what? This is news to me.
Oh yeah, well, this is news to you. Apparently, this is what we call a slow news week. Apparently, the biggest.
What do you mean
thing...
you don't have it installed?
It's basically Lil Nas X is he's a music artist, and he came out with a Guitar Hero clone called Twerk Hero.
Whoa.
This is true.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah, look, Google it. It exists. Hi, K. Markel.
I love this.
You love this. I don't know. I figured, it's the natural progression. We got Guitar Hero, the Guitar Hero 2, and we got Rock Band. And then people thought it hit its peak. People thought, whatever. And
my God.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, there it is for the money. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Guys, I gotta go.
I need a
what I
moment.
like? You know what I like about this? We were talking before the podcast started. Like, I went to school for art. Like, this is what I do. And so I love seeing creative people kind of like jostle the industry. Kind of, shake it up a little bit and saying, hey, even whether it's tasteful, whether it's not, they're being artists. And I love this kind of creativity. Like, I like what little Nas is doing here.
I like how he's just goofing. He's just
being himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the one thing that we all have problems doing. And he is literally doing it. And it's upsetting people.
And for all these years, they were telling people that were gay, if you're gay, you're going to go to hell. Now that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I love this. You twerk away.
And all the anger that they're making is just blowing him up even more. It's the Streisand effect.
Yeah. It's so funny.
I love any artist that's willing to push the envelope, whether it's this
Absolutely.
way, whether it's
so shameless.
political speech.
It's so. The thing is, it's so forward that he's just pushing the envelope. He's not doing anything productive, and he's loving it, and that's awesome. I don't know.
He is, in a way, like, from a political point of view, I think he's pushing the envelope because he's pushing a lot of conservative people that don't feel comfortable. But I think he's answering the call to a lot of people out there that want to be themselves, that want to just throw it all off and just show the world who they are. And honestly, I'm with him. Is there co-op? Is there co-op on Twerk Hero?
No, it's just a single player game. I actually just pulled it up right now. I actually just pulled it up just now.
Oh, that's too bad. We could have brought in another square and played it for the peeps.
Yeah. Oh man.
Who says I can? I can pull it up. Actually, no. It plays the song, and I don't want to get copyright. Unless I mute the game.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get the Lil Nas X stuff.
I could put it on, but I could just mute the tab. And
right.
That is.
But we're not gonna get any copyright strikes here.
No copyright strikes here. Speaking of copyright strikes, here we go. I can do tangents with gaming news. Metroid Prime 2D, Unjacked. Were you a Nintendo gamer growing up?
So yeah, I mean, but that was only because they were the only game in town.
Well, once
You
the
know,
GameCube came around, PlayStation 2 was there, and you probably were like, "Nope."
actually, it was before that. It was when TurboGrafx 16 came out.
Really, TurboGrafx.
Yeah, favorite game from that platform is Military Madness. That platform is epic. It came out on cards and it came
Yeah,
out on cartridges. So amazing.
I've
But
seen those. They're
yeah,
like Triscuits or whatever.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Metroid was a great side scroller when I was, when it was first introduced, and I never owned it myself, but the neighbor kid did, and we go over there, and he would play it, but I've never been into those kind of games. Not those kind.
Sure.
I'd rather watch somebody play it than play it myself, and it goes with any side scroller. I think they're very entertaining, but I have a thing with my ADHD that kind of like.
Yeah.
I just can't do side scrollers as
I don't
much as I
know.
wish I
It's
could.
so funny because it's like the only genre I can do, right? It's like, and the I don't know, Metroidvania specifically are like the only ones I feel real progression with because the whole thing's based off of it. I mean, my 170.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, like for me, I'm more of like a. I'm not. I am terrible with 2D. More so, I'm more better with like 3D games overall.
Yeah.
I feel because that's what I grew up with mostly. Like Sunshine, Galaxy, 64. Like those games are like I have down pat. I could do those easily without dying. I was like, but then with the 2D games, I start to like falter so much. I die all the time.
So they built this game specifically to annoy you two people. They took because this is a Metroid game. This is Metroid Prime,
Yep.
taken from 3D Metroidvania to 2D Metroidvania. Look,
Okay.
I think it's called Metroid Prime 2D if you want to Google it very quickly.
Yeah,
And it's like they did a very nice, very faithful recreation of Metroid Prime, but in 2D. And
I think it
and,
looks great.
and Metroid Prime itself, if you've never played Metroid Prime, it's a fantastic, fantastic game. Definitely up there. And it's like I don't know. Metroid Prime itself was hilarious because it was a game that we expected to not work. Backtracking and Metroidvania in a 3D area for the first time, and it's amazing. If you haven't gotten a chance to, definitely
No, this
give that a try.
looks great. I used to love everything from like watching my friend play this, and then like when I see the artwork to this,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of was Master Blaster, and I don't know if you guys ever played that.
I played Master Blaster. I think was that the that was the educational one?
No. You're a little truck going through all these levels,
Okay.
but you can jump around and shoot things. And I
Interesting.
think it came out probably right around the same time. I just admire the artwork part because it reminds me
of the
Master
2D
Blaster.
version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
this
did
looks
some-
good. And
Yeah, they did some really good 2D sprite art.
well, are you guys planning on playing this when it?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's an unlicensed. It's a
yeah, and before you know it, the more people know about it, then Nintendo's
It's gonna-
gonna send
exactly
the
cease and
lawyers.
desist. That was my tangent on copyright because every time one of these fan projects gets created, it gets shut down very quickly. So download it while you still can.
Oh, it never
no,
goes
no, no.
away,
I mean, oh.
Well, yeah, of course, that's true. It also
Yeah.
never goes away.
and we
it's
get
the
the
internet.
Streisand effect, which is kind of good too.
Well, I mean, kinda. When Nintendo kills one of these things, you get a little bit of the Streisand effect, and then it gets a little bit harder to find. But you don't see them like popping up again. I notice.
No, they get buried in either P2P software or news.
Yeah,
groups.
exactly,
That's all.
exactly.
Yep. Yep.
Little BBSs, bulletin board systems.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. You got it on 4chan.
Yeah.
Not 4chan. I'm saying 4chan.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We got it.
So you said you like when games appreciate older games. There is I never played Time Splitters 2, but
Oh.
in Homefront Revolution from 2016, there was
Okay.
a like Easter egg of a arcade machine. This is in the document, by the way. If you need to like Google it, there's an arcade machine with the first two levels of Time Splitters 2. So there's a game called Homefront: The Revolution, and in it there's an arcade machine which has Time Splitters 2, and it only has the first 2 levels, and people figured out a code to unlock the entire Time Splitters game inside this other game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, is it breaking DRM? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's
Or-
not. I don't know. I think it might be the same company. It's like in Donkey Kong 64 where you play Donkey Kong original levels, I think. Basically, it's I think it's a publisher who put out a game and they just put the source code of one of their other games in an arcade machine that you can get to. It's like Doom 2016, I think, has original Doom in it somewhere.
You know, I've never understood why companies do that. I don't know if it's on purpose or, I mean, it's great
I would do that. It sounds
advertising, but like, I don't understand why they do that kind of stuff. Unless you're looking for some free advertising or something.
I don't know. It sounds like a great, like, I don't know. It's super weird. It's the type of thing that if I was a game developer,
did the same developer make Time Splitters that made Homefront: The Revolution?
It must be. It must be.
Let me see. Let's see. Developer of Homefront Revolution is Dambuster Studios. And let me see. Who was Time Splitters?
Maybe it's publisher.
Well, because the original I know that Homefront: The Revolution was a sequel to the original Homefront.
Yes.
And that one was published by THQ, and then the one that published this one was let's see, Deep Silver. And then let's see, what is the let me see here. Time Splitters. Nope. Let's see. Alright, hang on, let me see. Time Splitter was developed by Free Radical Design, and published by
And while you're on this, there's another article. Did you see this Unjacked? Maybe you'll like this because you probably enjoyed the actual old Transformers growing up, as opposed to us with our wisecracking Michael Bay Transformers. But they actually announced like a $700 self-transforming Optimus Prime.
I would buy it. I would literally buy it.
No, they're doing it.
I will say this. I prefer the Michael Bay to
Really?
all the old stuff. Oh, absolutely. Listen, I know you guys think like, all that vintage stuff is awesome. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
But we would rather have this. Why on earth would you want to go and see a 1984 crappy animation movie of the Transformers when you could go see, Shia LaBeouf blowing things up, seeing these things transform in real life? Like, listen,
yeah, it's true.
I would.
For some
you can give me
things.
Michael Bay anytime, and Transformers I will watch until they're done.
But like, there's a certain appeal, a certain charm to. For instance, I haven't seen Wall-E, but I don't think I will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Short Circuit, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and Short Circuit's not a good movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. I'll say that. It's just
Exactly.
a movie. It's. I don't really think about the old Transformers that much. And listen, I saw everything from the GoBots to the Transformers. I had them all. I had everything. Like I even had like the Constructicons, the full set. My grandma got them. Dude, they were the crappiest little plastic Transformers ever. They had like 5 movements, and they were like, "Oh, now I'm a cement truck." It was the worst. Give me something that has like it's better quality. I mean, I know a lot of people would argue that, but
no, I mean, $700 self-transforming, Optimus Prime. You're getting it done.
I want that.
Yeah,
I want that, and I want it right over here.
Yeah, I really hope it's
Yeah,
I mean, because the only toys I really played with when I was younger, I did have some action figures, but I mostly played with Legos back then.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't have any of those.
Legos were fun.
For me, it was probably more Magic cards and stuff. My 170. Did you figure out if it was the same?
Okay,
developer?
so here's what happened. So the game, so Time Splitters was originally developed by Free Radical Design. They shut down, which they had been acquired by a German developer, Crytek, which published the second game. And then this studio, itself was shut down and formed, and the majority of the staff transformed to the newly formed Dambuster Studios, which developed Homefront: The Revolution.
Okay, there. See, it had to be connected. And by the way, Gamer Alliance is.
I feel like Pepe Silvia. I feel like Charlie in the episode with Pepe Sylvia with all like the papers.
Right. You're just like pointing to things. And Gimmer
Like,
Alliance in the comments is like, Wally was a masterpiece. What are you talking about? I haven't seen it. I assume
right
it's
here,
great.
I got well, I'm not gonna show it now, but it's like
No, yeah.
yeah, I can put the screen on there and just show it, but
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I have to figure out the integration to do this. I stream from a laptop, so it gets kind of complicated.
Well, if I put, well, no, I could put something up, and then you should be able to click on it, and then you should be able to see. Like if I put it up right now, I'll show you. Hang on.
Yeah, you can change it to share your screen.
Yeah, well, no, I can share because if it's too much on his end, I can just share something on my screen because that way.
But then it will mess up the cropping. Aha.
Oh yeah.
Haha.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's one step ahead.
I'm one step behind by understanding it.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to do it, especially because like you have to like crop the screen. Like you have to crop each of us and. You have to set it up right. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I kind of would like to go on a 30-second rant if you wouldn't mind.
I would love it.
All right,
Hey,
because I do love
Bring it.
what I'm seeing in your chat about don't ruin my childhood. But
Oh
listen,
yes, ruin some childhoods.
I have literally owned every single platform that was built from Intellivision up to today. And I can tell you the technology was really cool back then. I mean, when you got your first Super NES, we got your first N64, your PlayStation 1, whatever it was. I have favorite games on every platform, from the Dreamcast to the Game Boy and all of that. And I'm telling you, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that are nostalgia, freaks, and they love like the original Super Mario Brothers. But listen, I would rather play Super Mario Sunshine than Super Mario Brother 1 any day of the week. It's more entertaining. It's graphically pleasing. Like it's more of a complex of a game.
And I have an interesting I appreciate your perspective on this while having a different point of view.
Yeah,
but I'll get to that in a little
fine.
bit. But I like truly appreciate it. Like, anywho, I don't want to talk over my 170. Oh yeah,
because I think the thing is we tend to remember these things fondly because we had good memories with them. Like we tend to remember the '90s as a great time, but in reality, you're choosing. It's like a survivorship bias. You're choosing to remember the things you like and ignoring the rest. Like when people remember the '90s fondly for like cartoons or something, they remember all the good cartoons and think that was all of it. But in reality, there were a lot of cartoons, and there were some in particular that weren't even that good. We just choose to forget them.
Yeah, Clarissa didn't actually explain it all. She explained some of it, and we had to do the work ourselves. Unjacked, were you going to say something?
Well, I think a lot of it for me is because I actually did live through it. I had firsthand experience with like Neo Geo when it first came out. Like I can remember being in a bowling alley when I touched the first Neo Geo, cabinet, and I can understand where if you've never experienced Pong or something like that, you'd like, oh, I want to try it because I want to experience like what my parents played growing up, So I can see the connection there. And I will say, I do agree that back then it was very wholesome. That was something that I've always been angry about. I hate wholesome life. I don't mind being family friendly, but life is not wholesome. And I think that's right there why I hate the Transformers from the 80s. Because they always had a lesson to learn, just like those Thundercats.
Yeah, and
I think that was mostly because they had like things they had to like that a lot of like young education had a lot of young children's shows at the time had to have some sort of like
moral
educational value.
But
I think that was like a government mandated thing at the time.
I appreciate it in a different way too. Like there's 2 points on it. One, 80s movies have this I'd say it's like a mist. It's like a fog of amazement and whimsy that's not actually real, right? It's your Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world, right? Like it's all there and it's all fake to me, So I'm like always like, okay, this is like a fantasy we had to like track, to help us through time.
Yeah. I just felt like all the adults were lying to me as a kid. Like,
exactly.
Unless you've endured 500 hours of Punky Brewster, you don't understand. You just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like there are also some movies that haven't also aged the best. Like, I mean, times have changed. I mean, look at Revenge of the Nerds. That movie has not aged well at all.
That did not age well.
No, it did not.
It's still a great movie.
I watched that movie for the first time. I watched
that
movie for the first time a few years ago. I think it was like a year or two ago. I watched it and I was like, this would not be acceptable today, like at all.
No, it would not.
it's
Be,
not-
It would
yeah.
not be at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that is another movie I grew up with. But I guess the other thing I was going to say is like the simplicity of a lot of things. It boils you down to what actually is good. So like there's a whole variety of crap, right? Just bad things. But then you have something like we said earlier, Pac-Man, where the simplicity of it is so refined, it's good until this day. Tetris, Pokemon, they haven't done anything past. Honestly, this is one of those things where I'm gonna get fought in the comments, but that the initial battle system is basically what they are at now, and the initial turn-based combat is essentially where they're at right now. It's pretty much the same game, and so I will always go back to those types of things and see what's made that was done well, like Sim Tower, right? Sim Tower, I mentioned it was okay. Now someone's probably gonna correct me, but I think that's what Fallout Shelter copied. Fallout, the franchise, like Fallout 4, had a game called Fallout Shelter, and then they had another like success. So someone had
One of my favorite games. Yeah.
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
Isn't it based off of Sim Tower? Am I wrong to think that?
Yeah, I mean, basically, except you didn't have monsters running through your tower.
Except for yes.
Yeah, I think those games are great, and I think at the time when I played them, I think they were awesome, considering that was the technology we had. But it's kind of like I guess I look at life this way: like, why would you continue launching yourself off the same rocket that went to the moon when you could have like a brand new Saturn, type rocket? Like, I don't know. I love where gaming is going, so I always try not to get hooked too much on the past, so I can enjoy what's coming. Down the pipe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. For me, it's like what has worked and what hasn't worked, because there's also a lot of stuff in modern gaming that just doesn't work.
Oh,
that's true. That's true.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, microtransactions. And speaking of microtransactions, did I hear a segue?
Let's do it.
And people were trying to get me to show off things. So if you saw me show off a banjo amiibo, people were in the comments trying to get me to show off games and stuff. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. We're doing a podcast here.
We're rocking here.
We're talking here. So there's a whole giant battle of Fortnite versus Apple, and I don't know if any of you guys like have any real opinions on this, but it's been very interesting.
So I'm out of the loop on this one. So this is
okay. So to give some context, unless you want to, I don't mind.
Do you have an article about this, or so I could just read in the background, or
just Google Fortnite versus Apple.
All right.
I don't have one off the top of my.
I found a Wikipedia article, Epic Games versus Apple, which I'm guessing is the same thing. It is currently a court case in the United States District Court for the Northern District of California.
Yeah, and we can summarize it.
I can pull up the Wikipedia article.
Okay, either way.
I'll read it up. So, Epic Games versus Apple is a current lawsuit brought by Epic Games against Apple in August of 2020 in the United States District Court for the Northern District of California relating to Apple's practices in the iOS App Store. Epic Games has specifically challenged Apple's restrictions on apps from having other in-app purchasing methods outside the ones offered by the App Store. Epic Games' founder had previously challenged the 30% revenue cut that Apple takes on each purchase made in the App Store, and with their game Fortnite, wanted to either bypass Apple or have Apple take less of a cut. Epic immediately implemented changes in Fortnite intentionally on August 13th to bypass the App Store payment system, prompting Apple to block the game for the App Store and lead to Epic filing its lawsuit.
Yeah, so it's basically Epic was like 30% on everything is a no-go. I'm sorry, we're done. Like Apple, we're not
really excited about this case.
Because it's going to define a lot of things.
Yeah, I've been following this since the beginning, and I think this will have a huge ripple effect. I mean, obviously, Apple, Google, and so many other platforms really settled in on that 30%.
Yeah, so my 170, the 30% thing is across all the different platforms that they can take like up to 30%. That's fine.
I could see landmark rulings out of this as far as price fixing. If they're all at 30%, that would be market fixing, right? From certain point of views. But I think really what's at the crux here is you have Epic, which is just makes so much money off Fortnite. I
They
mean,
make so much
they,
money.
they made huge sums of profits, and the thought that Apple could just be like, we'll just take 30% of that. I
Yeah.
think honestly, I definitely sit on Epic's side. I think 30% just to run a platform when you're talking about a company that probably has taken billions of dollars at this point, right? That's a huge amount of profit that you're ripping out of a company. Now you can say, well, it's up to them, but is it? Because if you're really not in those
There's not
stores,
really a lot of
who are you?
options. There's not
It's
really a
like-
lot of options either.
But I don't-
You can't just
Yeah,
I don't like either of them. I'll be honest.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, I agree if it was anyone but Epic. Epic specifically is like literally building their own game store.
yes.
Right? They're building their own game store, and I don't know what that means for them in the future for their practices. Because
I can see what you mean, because if they try to do the same thing to someone else, they could be like, "Oh, you did this to like." Yeah, because I mean, I wonder if Legal Eagle did a video on this. I have to check.
I mean, if you think about it from a business point of view, though, right? Just separate yourself from the gaming point of view, whether you hate the company or not.
yeah.
Just think of like 30%, like straight up.
Yeah.
You can build it into the cost of business, or you can take the 30% you would have given Apple and you could build your own Steam-like platform. So from a business point of view, I think it's a really good thing to do. But they still need to be on Apple's platform and Google's platform and Amazon's platform to make what they make. I think it's super important. But right now, our major tech companies have gated everybody at this arbitrary number at 30%. Do they really need 30%? I would say, maybe there's some dynamic pricing. If you want to be here, here's what, like,
Apple
just to
doesn't need
say
any
straight
money.
up 30.
Yeah, they make
No,
so
they
much of
don't.
it.
They don't.
Apple doesn't need
But-
any money. They
both
start.
make so much money. Like, do they?
Yeah,
like,
and think about the small
oh,
developers that can't afford the 30%.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they can, but I'm just saying, like, I want more innovation and less like monopolization, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's $30, 30% across the board, not $30. And so that means that the indie developer is paying that out of pocket, which is going to be far more of a far bigger of a deal than the big guy.
We don't even tax corporations that high.
No,
yeah.
not even
Here from
that
the
much.
government, and so I think it's crazy. Right now, the highest corporate tax in the United States is 21%.
And yeah,
You know what I mean? So
there used to be a point where I think it was like 70s or like 60%, like back
Yeah.
in the 50s, I think.
if you're not even paying the government that much, what are you doing paying Apple that much or Google? I don't know. So business is kind of like one of those things I get into.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been kind of crazy.
So I'm looking to see like what else is happening with this. So let's see.
Nothing right now. I think because of the COVID, it really set a lot of the court.
So the first court date for this is May 3rd of this year. So that's only a few weeks from now. Other companies have come out in support of Apple's, including Facebook.
Of course.
Facebook
Also wants to charge you 30%.
Yeah.
It says companies like Facebook, Spotify, and the Match Group supported Epic Games in their lawsuit and spoke of their own past issues with Apple's App Store policies relating to their services. Digital Context Next, a nonprofit trade group representing media outlets like the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, also backed Epic's suit, asserting that other issues that Apple has given out uniquely favorable deals to some providers like Amazon, but not to others.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. And have you seen all the stuff that Fortnite did to like make fun of Apple? Have you seen that, Unjacked?
Yes, I have. Like I said, this is something I've actually kind of followed a little bit, usually through Reddit.
They had like parody Apple skins in the store. Sorry,
they're
in
baiting
the game.
them as hard as they can.
Yeah,
and,
they're baiting them. They're really baiting them.
And let's see. Oh, let's see more reaction. Let's see. On October 8th, 2020, Microsoft announced a commitment to 10 fairness policies in the operation of its Microsoft Store on Windows, which included promises of transparency over its guidelines, not blocking competing app stores from being used on Windows, and not removing apps from the store based on their business model, how they handle payments, or how their services are delivered. In December of 2020, Apple announced that they'd be lowering the revenue cut Apple takes from app developers making $1 million or less from 30% to 15% if app developers fill out an application for the lowered revenue cut.
There we go. So that's kind of more of what I wanted.
Subject to be approved, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it still needs to be approved. You probably have to wait 3 weeks for the process.
They'll let 5 of them have it, and they'll be like, "See, we did it, guys."
Yeah, this podcast took like a week to get on the Apple Podcast site. Why? Reasons. But yeah, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. So I've got we've got a little bit more on that, but I've also got facts on Metal Gear Solid. How familiar are you guys with Metal Gear Solid?
Never played any of the games.
Never played Unjacked?
I used to play. Of course, I played the original. I have played. I don't know the last one that I've played. But it's a great game. I'm not big into those games like Rainbow Six and stuff like that. But.
Right. Well, yeah. I guess it's in the same genre. Yeah. I mean, those are like the early PlayStation 1 games. With Metal Gear Solid.
But I love Snake. I love Snake.
Snake is a really cool character in Super Smash Bros.
Yes.
So with Metal Gear Solid, I don't have so much to talk about on it because I haven't played it. But it is our 96th, I guess, top game of all time. I have a list of the best games of all time from Metacritic. I've been going down one by one.
Oh.
Every podcast. And so, even though I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 1,
let's see.
I found some fun facts.
Which one is this listed as? It's
the Metacritic.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's
96.
96. It has a 94 aggregate score on Metacritic right now for the original PlayStation.
So Metal Gear, here's some fun, silly facts about Metal Gear Solid. No, Metal Gear Solid was originally meant to be Metal Gear 3, but the game's producer and developer, Hideo Kojima, thought the Metal Gear series was not well enough known, and therefore changed it. So Kojima, I was like wondering, did he make the NES Metal Gear games? I think he did. He was involved in them. I think he, in fact, was their producer. So I don't know if you guys have seen those. They're more jank. Those games are jank.
Which one? Wait, which one?
The NES. The NES, or it's was it the something SX, whatever. It came out. Metal Gear Solid itself was ported to the NES, but whatever console it was on initially. Still,
I remember playing this as a kid.
Jank.
But like I more so remember playing on PlayStation. I think we played quite a bit of this back then.
Right, and so like the third entry in the series, Metal Gear Solid, was amazing. From the thousands of people I've spoken to about this, right? Everyone loves the original Metal Gear Solid game. The one thing I know of is the Mantis Psycho Mantis boss fight. Unjacked, are you familiar with that one?
Yeah, I think I heard about this one.
Time, man.
I remember hearing about this, where you have to actually unplug the controller.
You have to unplug the controller and like plug it into the other slot or something.
I did not know that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's like you don't know how to beat this boss, and you actually need to. It like breaks the fourth wall, and you have to do something with the controller.
This was outside of the genre that I normally played, so I didn't like play too much of this.
Yeah, I didn't play so much. I played the Game Boy game. That was actually pretty solid.
But I know plenty of people that are hardcore Metal Gear Solid fans.
Yeah, it's
to the day they die.
Yeah. The word solid, it says world, but it's a typo, was chosen by Kojima due to it being the third installment in the series of games, and because it uses 3D computer graphics as well as being referenced to Solid Snake, the game's protagonist. That's not much of a fact. Kojima was intent on making detail the devil of his work within. Kojima had some really good detail in the game, so each desk within the game is individually designed. He really wanted something immersive. So you have stuff where like you could hide people in cabinets in I guess it was what are those? Man, I'm blanking on what they are, but like cabinets essentially. You could hide bodies in cabinets, so like the world itself was more immersive. It's crazy how meticulous great gaming producers are.
Yeah,
It's
some
a
of the
shame
best
how
features.
it's a shame how like Kojima has been like treated by Konami.
Oh, I'm sure he's cracked down.
Konami
I'm
is
sure he's
like,
not an easy personality to work with. I don't know. I've never read up on his personality. But...
just in general with Konami in general, like with everything they've done, like just
oh yeah,
barely.
like Konami's fumbled everything from what I've seen, but I don't know. When you get one of these personalities that's so detail oriented, I can only imagine they're not easy to work with.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I've heard like there are a lot of like well-known creators that are notoriously difficult to work with.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most of those guys are eccentric. By the time they get to those positions,
Like
they're just
once you have like a
lavish
huge
me.
name, like once you have a huge name for yourself, you think so much of yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to some degree, for sure, you can get lost into some of that fame, especially one hit. Like video game developers, I'm sure they have like communities that just they probably
Praise
have their
them
own like
all
roadies and
day.
groupies, like rock stars. You know?
It's their own
Yeah.
subreddit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I
Elon
could see.
Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is
But
he's
look-
Elon Musk. There's no like he's just a genre within his own.
Oh.
He's something all right.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one or two. No, it's like one more fact about Metal Gear Solid. During its campaign, an estimated 12 million demos were distributed in 1998, as well as television and magazine adverts and in-store samples, all contributing to a whopping total of $8 million spent in promotional costs. Yeah, it's interesting to see these old school costs of promo.
Yeah. It's so different now.
I mean, I forget how much it was for Final Fantasy VII, but that had also a big advertising spend. I don't know if Nintendo did stuff like that. I don't know if they spent like that.
I think they really reserve that kind of spending for like Mario,
Right.
like the
like,
real big ones. I can't really remember like huge spends growing up.
Right.
You know, other than the top tier titles.
There were huge spends, I bet, with the advertising campaigns.
Oh, I'm sure.
When Nintendo
I'm sure.
was fighting Genesis. I would imagine then that's where they spent a lot of money. Because you had commercial after commercial of Nintendo versus...
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of commercials, but I feel like nobody ever took Sega. Like, I can remember being so disappointed that nobody played Sega. Like, I actually could go down and I bought a Sega 8-bit and like a bunch of games for like next to nothing.
The Master
Yeah, the
System?
Master. Yeah, the Master.
Because that one, because Nintendo basically at the time had like a stranglehold on the market at the time, and Sega tried to catch up to them at the time, but the Master System didn't really take off the same way. Like their mascot at the time was Alex Kidd, and exactly, you don't even know who he is. You probably, if you were not around during that time, you probably have no idea who he is unless you played.
Nobody knows Alex Kidd. He's no Bubsy.
That's what people.
I played.
That's the worst part. People remember Bubsy more than Alex Kidd.
Yeah, I played 10 times more Sega Master System than I ever did with NES.
I guess a lot of it has to do with marketing, and that's what Sega learned back in the 90s when they marketed Sonic and tried to make him all in your face and super cool compared to Mario, who was all slow.
But even growing up, hardly any of the kids even had like a Genesis, had like a Saturn, like, but everybody had a Nintendo. Everybody did.
The Saturn is a case of how bad decision after bad decision can really sink your company. Because after the 32X, they tried making the Saturn, and the PlayStation was about to, there was a whole Business Insider video about this. Like basically, they tried to make the Saturn, and then the PlayStation was announced, but at being lower price than what they would have, and it had a lot of what's the word, momentum going behind it. So they originally the Saturn. Let me just fact check this. Hang on.
But like
They-
growing up, like they outpriced themselves. There was only one kid in the entire neighborhood that had a Saturn.
Yeah, because
Like,
so the Saturn also, because they were originally planning on releasing it like on a certain day, but then I think it was like, hang on, let me see here. So it was released in Japan, and then they were planning on releasing it some other time in North America. They had a certain day they were going to do it, but then at a certain conference they announced, "Oh, we're going to release it right now." Now that would have been a great idea to do had they told anybody, but they didn't. They didn't tell any retailers. They didn't tell any other developers. So basically, so this caused outrage amongst like retailers because they had to make space to fit the place, which some of them refused to even carry them, and developers weren't even aware. And then by the time it was released, there were barely any games on it, and it still was more expensive than the PlayStation.
Oh no!
but it was still huge and still very important because it brought Tekken to
Tekken 1?
the gaming. Yes.
Because the Saturn wasn't as successful as in the States compared to how it was in Japan. Because in Japan the Sega was fairly successful. But another problem with it was because of the complex architecture of it. It was very hard to program games for it, and as a result, not a lot of games came out the same way they did for the other systems. And then Nintendo had made their own mistakes too with sticking to cartridges, which caused them both to fall behind the PlayStation.
At the same time, you could argue that it also protected their intellectual property because I can remember modding hundreds of PlayStation ones.
Nice.
In 2000, I literally would mod anybody's PlayStation for $35. I have one of my first ones I ever did in my garage downstairs.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because what happens is like because CDs are easier to pirate compared to cartridges.
In 1999 or 98, I got the first CD burner in my city. And I went to every single like rental store. I rented every PlayStation game I could. I burnt every one. I had 1,500 PlayStation games, and I could sell you a disc for $10. I'd go to Staples, get a stack of 100. Yeah, it would be about 10 cents. Well, at the time,
you could just do that. Like, there's no like. I guess back then they didn't have like copyright.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 did not have DMR, but that's where Dreamcast
didn't
failed.
have DRM?
Yes. Yeah. So
Dreamcast has worse DRM than the PlayStation 1, I think.
And the thing is, like, I believe for Sony and Sega at that time, their strategy was to sell their console at a loss and make the money back on games. But if the games are easy to pirate, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, once the mod chip came out and everything else, but I don't think that it really dented their market very much.
I think for Sega, it probably did though, because at the time they were basically limping at that point.
It took almost 2 years before they broke the Dreamcast DMR. They have that 75 megabyte band on the disc, and you have to get over that with the laser. It's a special laser that's programmed to do that. Don't ask me how I know this, but I had every Dreamcast game that they made, and I loved it. That was back in the day for like IRC.
The Dreamcast is something I kind of want to own one day if I could find one.
I found one.
No, it's not worth it.
It doesn't work.
Is it?
No, it sucks. It's not worth it.
It's a great. It's got great games.
But I'm sure a lot of those games.
The equipment fails too much, though.
I guess so.
I'm sure a lot of games.
That's why you can't find them.
I'm sure like a lot of games like Sonic and Sonic Adventure were a lot of them have been. I have them on Steam, for a matter of fact.
Yeah, a lot of stuff got remade. Evolution was an interesting one. Cannon Spike. There's another gem. Whatever. There's a Smash Bros. Type game with gems.
There was Marvel vs. Capcom as well.
Marvel vs. Capcom. That's better in arcade.
Yeah, well, the Dreamcast was one of my favorite. I loved it. I had I think like 4 of them total. I had all the controllers, and but their problem was their games could fit on a 700 meg disc, and when you're already taking up a seventh of that with DRM, you get shorter games. So they never had games that were really that long.
They had some good stuff. They had a lot of good games though. It's surprising.
It was a potential platform. Like they could have really pushed it further. I think
had so much. They had. I mean, Crazy Taxi was on that.
Oh, it's a great game. I have that.
Sonic
I have that
Adventure.
on my GameCube.
Yeah, as I said, they had their own Evolution RPG. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the Smash Brothers clone, but it exists. There's a lot of those. Space Channel 5 was there. I got one. It was like $135, and we got like a bunch of games and a Dreamcast. And it turned out all the games were burnt on eBay. This is what happened.
That's the way. That's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Once I learned how to do it, that was
I'm sure
it.
the technology to do it at the time was not as easy to get as it would be now.
No,
Actually,
it was easy. It was
super
super
easy, dude. All you
super
needed was
Again, that's just
Nero.
that's just the
Dreamcast itself.
disconnect for me.
Dreamcast itself,
So-
out of all the different systems, I think is the easiest to hack for some reason.
I can remember I was
And that
going
ultimately, and that probably did them in too.
Yeah.
What ultimately did Dreamcast in was that the PlayStation 2 could play DVDs. That's what ultimately got them ahead, and that's why it sold so much. Because you're thinking, okay, I could get a DVD player, but I could get a DVD player and a system, and then bam, I got both of them, and it's sold.
And I think
I would
unjacked-
agree. That
yeah,
was a
okay.
huge deal. Yeah, that was a
That
huge
was a big deal
for
at the
that.
time. Like back then, DVDs were like, I think the DVDs were like a new thing back then. And back then, with Sony being able to have that in their systems, it made it a bit that got them what to sell. And then that's kind of what happened. Well, the PlayStation 3 they bungled that one up too. But for people that wanted a Blu-ray player, which were very expensive back then, you could just you could probably buy a PlayStation 3 for cheaper than an actual Blu-ray player.
Yeah, that was just like the best move Sony did.
$599.
I skipped right over it.
Oh, I mean, I didn't. I only bought one like a year or two ago, but
Yep.
Yeah, I got one. I got mine back in 16. I got my PlayStation 4 back in 16. That was the first PlayStation system I owned.
And
I kind of went from like PlayStation 1 to computer gaming.
Yeah, I got
Like,
back.
Yeah.
I
Go
got
ahead.
into computer gaming myself when a few years ago, and my friend helped me build my desktop.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I did it after N64, I guess, around GameCube time. But speaking of old games, there's that a sealed Super Mario Brothers cart. Went
Saw
for
that.
$660,000.
It's incredible.
What?
I think
It's incredible.
but I think it's a
that they would
specific
do
one.
that.
I think it's a specific like no label version.
My God, people spend that. Who has that much money?
People that are not smart with it.
Oh my God! For
I mean,
context,
I kind of wish I had something rare like that. I mean, well, to be fair, because I do have a few games that are hard to find, but I mean, I have like a few games that probably would go up for like hundreds, but I wouldn't want to sell them.
I know it's probably some Prince or Sultan or something that has way too much money. They're bored and they're like, you know what? I wouldn't mind buying something.
I mean, if I had something that was like really rare, I would consider it, but I don't know.
what I love about this is, for context, this is $300,000 more than the Nintendo PlayStation prototype sold for.
That's incredible.
Right?
Absolutely incredible.
I want to. Can you link this? I want to see this. Put this in the one of the in the.
I'll put it in the. We have a subreddit now.
I like what I'm hearing. I like it.
Right. Subreddit. I'll put it in the chat, and Smartsy will put it in the subreddit somewhere.
Have you been successful at launching a subreddit?
This is a brand new announcement that we just put it up.
All right. Well, congrats.
I don't know. I'm
like it.
I'm trying all the different things. I'm working on getting an editor and everything. Like, there's all sorts of stuff. Smartsy,
Yeah.
could you put that on the subreddit somehow?
in
And
the r/pocket or something
it's
like
Super Pocket 64.
that. All right, here we go. Oh, there's the article. I want to read this and see.
Yeah.
Sealed. Oh my God.
Yeah, $660,000. Are you
Wow.
kidding me? And
That's a lot of zeros. More zeros than I have.
yeah. More sixes than I have too. No.
I mean, it's just that's a lot of money. Most people won't even make that much their entire lives.
No.
And the
That's
bigger
insane.
question from it is,
yeah, I'm
how
the
does this
fourth step.
affect gaming as a whole? Like, is this going to be is it a good thing or a bad thing that gaming prices could go up? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because now I believe like most of like the AAA games are going to go up to $70 now.
That's happening due to inflation, anyways. I
Well,
remember when it
let
went
me-
up to 60.
Well, let me ask you, what would make you think that it's going to affect gaming itself? I'm just asking for the point of view. I'm not trying to challenge your opinion.
Oh yeah, and also my opinion should be challenged. No, I was basically.
I'll do that after.
Yeah, I'll do that after. It was some of these games going up for a lot of money, and in addition to that, I know these are isolated cases, but I think it was Where did I see this? I thought I was talking about this in the last podcast that during the pandemic, retro games went up in price an average of 30%. So
Yes, I was reading that article that you sent.
yeah,
No,
so
but
or
is
maybe I
that
wrote
due
that.
to like royalty disputes? Is that due to
Honestly, I think it's
some
just
kind of
people are
delivery
bored.
methods?
I mean, the
I
only
think people
thing
are
I would
bored.
expect is because I mean, I'm guessing that most of these retro games are sold in like secondhand stores.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
when they're
physical
so
copies?
Physical copies.
yeah, because I
Oh,
imagine
well,
that because
that's a limited
I buy
resource. That's why.
yeah, so I buy most of my stuff from like secondhand stores, like other gaming stores, which I'm guessing if you buy them used, the original like they don't the developer like the manufacturers do not get any of the profit from it.
Right.
Which is
So
fine. They made
yeah,
it once.
yeah, they made it one. Yeah,
They got
exactly.
theirs.
Like, but
I think it's hard to say whether I think it's going to affect. Just from my point of view, I think those people that were going to collect that
oh,
we're going to buy it in a box and keep it wrapped and put it in a safe
Yeah.
for 30 or 40 years. They already bought those copies. They're not buying those from secondhand stores.
Yeah.
Those are pristine copies that were bought day one on the shelf.
For that specific
And
reason.
So
Yeah.
I don't see big sales like this affecting the gaming industry. I think poor business practices are probably at play there.
Also, this is probably just due to the pandemic. This is probably just
Absolutely, people are home.
People are home
more
and
people
bored.
are streaming. So
Yeah.
imagine how many more people are streaming some of these older classics, right? I mean,
Yeah,
even
I
I was
mean-
thinking about buying a Switch or like a TurboGrafx 16, try to hook it up to a capture card and
that?
stream it.
what kind
So-
of capture do you have there?
This is the Elgato 4K 60 S Plus.
I have,
So,
Yeah.
I have
external?
the one I have. Let me where's mine?
So, what is a game? Just because I feel like this is, I feel like because we spoke about our favorite genres.
Sure.
So I figured I'd throw a question in. What is a game that you would say that we should play, as a must play that we should play, either due to your experience with it or more specifically due to knowing us as people, right? Like looking at you, Unjacked, after saying, you love all those puzzle things, I would be like, have you finished Portal? And if not, what's wrong with you? Or, right? Or
That is something
or
I've been meaning to do.
have you played all the Picross games? Or, trying to think, there's a lot of puzzle games that I've enjoyed over the years.
That's a really tough question to answer, and I'll tell you why. I don't know how many dudes there are my age like playing video games. Like I feel like most of the dudes my age are like getting home from work, drinking a 12-pack of beer and passing out and going again tomorrow. I'm pretty, blessed in the point of view that like I have 200 games in my Steam account.
Yeah.
I have, 200 games in my Epic account. Like I have so many games. And
But
it's
not enough
really,
time to play them.
I literally have not played like most of the games. I literally bought Cyberpunk, played it 4.5 hours, and I haven't touched it. I bought Call of Duty Cold War. I played it for like 2 or 3 hours on stream, and I've never played it again. Like this, I actually think there's too many good games out there.
It's like
There's too many games,
it's like
for sure.
for girls, I have nothing to wear. For guys, I have nothing to play.
Yeah, exactly. That is brilliant. Exactly. I mean,
But
yeah.
if you ever like Diablo 2, I would
love
say
Diablo 2.
you should absolutely try Path of Exile if you've never.
I would
Do not stream it.
do not stream it.
Do not stream it.
I would. I'm excited for Diablo 4 though, because one of my old buddies who I grew up with is working on it, and I was like, we both were reminiscing about Diablo 2, and I'm like, okay, I believe now in Diablo, because Diablo 3 was such a tangent. It was such a different thing than Diablo 2.
I always tell people Path of Exile is what Diablo 3 should have been.
Right. I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And you see it. You see it immediately when you look at a frame.
Yeah.
You see the health bar and everything is just 1-to-1.
I'm excited, but I'm reserved about Diablo 4 because if it's a subscription model or something like that, I will
It'll
never
be a
ever
season
play
thing.
it.
I don't think it'll be a subscription.
Yeah. Well, I don't trust Blizzard to stay out of my wallet.
Yeah, exactly. And you never should. You never should.
Right? No, not even a little bit.
It's like which one do where do we start with these?
With-
These companies.
Yeah, specifically Blizzard. And by the way, because game number whatever it was 100 or 99 was of the top games of all time was Diablo. I did some research. Did you know XCOM? Every tile in the original XCOM games is 1-to-1 in the original Diablo game.
No, I did not know that.
It's
That's
weird.
Interesting.
It's very weird. Anywho, so there's a lot of.
All right, what about you, 170? What do you got?
What was it? What was it again?
What's the game that I should be playing?
Yes.
I mean, I will say this because the game I played a lot at the end of last year and the beginning of this one was Hades. That game. I mean, Pocket knows this. I've spoken very highly of the game. It's basically a roguelike hack and slash game. You play as Zagreus, the prince of the underworld, as you try to get out of the underworld. You go through Tartarus.
It's slashy.
It's fun. Like there's a lot. Like the game is very challenging and you die a lot, but as you play it more, you get like the hang of it more, and it feels very rewarding when you actually get past the boss. Like first, you'll probably get past the first boss with like your body like limping, but then after you play it a bunch of times and like get used to it, you can defeat the first boss without like dying at all.
And Hades,
and then you can keep going.
And Hades is very interesting because it is based on that whole.
I love the view on it. I can't play 3D games, but I do love the artwork on this.
I mean, that's another great thing about the music and overall the overall presentation of it is just incredible. That's what really hooked me in. And as of right now, let me check something.
It has like a brilliant progression because it's like a slow grind game where you get better, and if you don't, it gives you a little push. And each time you play,
this has been recommended to me a couple times. But
I streamed it back in January.
What's the replayability on this?
You can play. There's a lot of even after you've beaten, because you have to beat the game 10 times. There's a lot of other side quests you can unlock too. There's a lot of other side things to do.
How many roguelikes have you played? Because it's a roguelike. Like I'm not gonna replay it because I replayed it. I beat the game 36 times or something. But
36.
Which is different from like Binding of Isaac, where I've beaten the game like 100 times. Roguelikes are for me, it's like a roguelike that got stale a little bit quicker than the others, but for most people, it doesn't get stale.
Yeah, like Hades, I've had the game since December 30th, and I was playing it a lot for like a month, and already it's my 5th most played game on Steam.
Yeah.
With 144 hours of it, which is probably not a lot, but it's behind The Sims 3, Bug Fables, Stardew Valley, and City Skylines. Speaking of which, Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, that's a great one.
Yes.
And
I have it. It doesn't hold my attention. I can't get into it.
Yeah, I hear that.
I've tried.
Admittedly, it is not for everyone. If you played like the Harvest Moon games, then you would like it. But I mean, I started playing again when they released the new update, and I've always wanted to do co-op with, but I don't have anyone to play with.
I find myself just playing very different games than I've ever played as I get older. I really don't know if my age has anything to do with it or if it's something else. But like for me, I try to find games that like hold my attention a little bit better. So like fast action on the screen, Bloons is a great example of that. But it also allows me to like, I now,
Bloons is just
I guess
addicting.
It is.
Well, are you referring to like the regular Bloons game or just the tower defense one? Because tower defense games are fun.
The tower defense, just the tower defense.
Yeah, because like, one of my favorite tower defense games was Plants vs. Zombies, which if you were around, like if you were playing phone games on your phone about 10 years ago, you would have played that a lot.
Actually, I've been streaming it.
It's on Steam, yeah. What?
I've been streaming it.
Nice.
Which one?
Nobody was in the category, so I lifted it a little bit for like a few days. I actually streamed it.
I have been considering streaming it, but I don't think a lot of people would watch, to be honest.
The OG one?
I had 30 people watching Plants vs. Zombies 2 at a time.
Well,
okay.
But I mean, I literally just downloaded BlueStacks and started streaming it, and I went over and streamed it full time on YouTube.
My mic is a bit spotty. They're saying, "Hang on, I'll move closer to it." How is it now? How is my mic now?
Good. Yeah, you sound pretty good.
The real Johnny Boy commented, the MY170's mic is a little spotty.
Yeah, we'll see in a second.
I think he meant that you have spots on your mic.
Hang on.
I'm kidding.
Or is it just the mic itself? Yeah, it's all colorful and red.
When you touch it, it does get spotty, actually.
Yeah.
How is it? Oh,
Oh, you're good.
because
I think you're good. If not, in the comments, just tell us. We will fix it right
Hey,
up.
you want to
sound
know
funny,
another
you
fun game?
What,
Another
what?
fun game. I bought the Worms series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All of it. It went on
Oh!
sale. It went on sale, and I started streaming it. But each game is like 20 minutes long, and like people were watching me back then. I was thinking about bringing it back here soon.
Yo,
But,
Yeah.
like, you
I
can
would
play
play
like
with you. I would play with you if you do it because I have some of them. Let me check which ones
no.
I
You
have.
got to bring your own team though. You bring your team. I'll bring my team.
I don't
all
have
right?
anyone to play with.
So wait, so,
Come
so
on,
we're talking about
I've never played it with anyone.
Tell Pocket to play with.
Yeah, I was gonna
you.
say, should we
I'll
do
bring
a
my team.
whole?
Yeah, you can bring 6 teams of 4, I think it is.
If I have a copy of it, if not, if you have it on a little DRM free or
Let's see.
something.
I will give you one. I
Let
will literally send you one.
Well, let's
Let
figure
me
out.
check.
Let's figure this
Okay.
out.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Worms guy,
Worms
but
needs to
this would
come
be a
back.
good. If we could do a whole like co-op
Alright,
stream,
so-
collab. I don't mind it. That sounds
We'll do a
great.
So-
championship.
So the Worms games
I'm
I
gonna-
have
I'm
are
gonna suck at
Worms
this.
Armageddon and Worms Reloaded. Which is the one that you play?
I've been playing WMD, but I have all of them. I literally bought the entire pack during the last year's summer sale. Dude, I bought so many games. One game that I'm about to get. Oh my god! I'm sorry to take this on a tangent.
But wait,
No, it's
Please
fine,
forgive
it's
me.
fine.
I went.
In
Okay,
a bit, we'll
I'll
bring it
put-
back.
I will put this on
Okay.
my wish list for now. I don't have that one, but I'll put it on my wish list.
I have 2 things that I really want to try this year. One probably won't happen because of the cost.
Okay.
But I want to get into like Street Fighter 2. Like, but I want to buy
OG?
some of the arcade. Yeah.
The
The OG.
one-ups?
But I want to buy like the joystick and the button, the
Yeah,
full on controller. And I want to play that on stream. And then I want to get into racing. I want to get in I want to buy like a racing pod that maybe I can like wheel into
that
like
would-
this area here with the screens that I can sit in and kind of drive
So
all
I
day.
actually I set up a VR entertainment center years ago,
Oh man, that sounds like fun.
and we were I think we were the first to do like multiplayer VR racing in the same
Mhm.
room with the racing seats and everything, and
Yep.
it's nauseating.
I don't know, something like I just want to try something unique that I can get lost into, but I still need
Sure.
to be able to read the chat. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
I can't stream if I can't read the chat. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that will
Yeah.
happen. But I feel like Street Fighter 2, I could get like my rage out and then beat, all the other characters.
You might need an analog TV for that stuff.
Yeah.
If you're getting
No,
good.
no. I you can buy it right on Steam. It's like $30.
Oh, the joystick stuff.
Oh
yeah.
no. Oh yeah. I'm gonna spend a few $100 on that.
Oh yeah.
I want to get a custom one with like my logo on it and everything.
Oh yeah. I actually have a friend who got a custom one recently.
Yeah.
Another streamer,
Right.
Eddie Fuerte. He posted it to his Instagram. He got a custom one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only arcade joystick game I used to play religiously, I guess, was Marvel vs. Capcom 2,
Huge game. I love that game too.
Yeah. which is super epic.
Yeah,
Um,
in New York City, there's actually a bar that has like an arcade now. You know the barcade, right?
Yeah,
That place
barcade.
is great. I went there a few times with some of my friends, and it's great. It's because that's where I got to play. They have a Play Choice 10 there, which is awesome. That's the one where you get to play like actual NES games. And then they had a bunch of stuff. Like Crazy Taxi was the one I spent a lot of time.
Yeah,
playing.
they had a lot.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a good time.
old arcades.
That will be going there for a while though, until
I'm fully
whatever.
vaxxed and I'm in the city, so I can go.
I got
Hey,
my
me
first
too.
shot.
All
Are
right.
they open? Are they open still?
I would imagine they're open. I would imagine.
I mean, yeah, because I just got my first shot yesterday, so
Oh, yeah.
I have to wait until May
Good.
8th to get another one.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
soon enough, and then party in the city.
right.
And to
Ooh.
loop this back around to the suggestion that I was going to give, I don't know if you gave me a proper answer on that on Portal specifically.
I have Portal 1 and 2.
But have
I
you
also
played
have
them?
like Polybridge 1 and 2, and I have not played any of these.
You need
I've
to
been
play
waiting
Portal,
for an
yeah.
opportunity. So
And Portal, yeah.
once I hit like a couple more milestones, I plan on streaming those live.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that. Guys, he's going to play Portal 1 for the first time ever. And
Yeah.
Portal 2 has
I
a lot of
played it-
character.
Yeah, I played the first Portal, but I never finished it. I played it a little bit though. It's something I want to get back to at some
It's
point.
so good. It's so good. And Portal 1, you can probably finish in a night if you probably stayed up.
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah.
if you know the puzzles, you can finish it very quickly. Portal 2 is a little bit longer. and it has, is it Will Wheaton? It has some great
Will
voice
Wheaton.
actors.
Wow, there's a name I haven't heard in a
Will
long
Wheaton.
time.
Will Wheaton.
It might not be Will Wheaton. It's probably I think it's Stephen Merchant. I think Stephen
Okay.
Merchant plays one of the.
What game
one of
is
the-
it? What game?
Portal 2.
Will Wheaton does the board games night. He does the board games with other people.
No, I think it's Stephen Merchant. It's the British guy. Who, yeah. Anywho, it's fantastic. Either way, both games are fun. There's like, I don't know. There's not much I can say on it without spoiling. So I'm not gonna say much.
I definitely
but yeah.
want to try them both. I'm trying to balance the type of games and everything what I do, but I do play a lot of games off stream sometimes if I have the time. So regardless, I do want to try some of these games. And like I said, I'm thinking about getting a Switch, not a Twitch, a Switch.
You already have one.
Well, no, every one of my kids have one. I don't have one because I usually drive the car. So I've never bought one for myself, mostly because I don't know. I'm a little angry at Nintendo. I kind of feel I don't
There's
like
a lot of things to be angry about. The way I see it, they're basically like the Disney of video games.
and
With
like,
how
Well,
protective they are.
Disney
it keeps me
I'm
away
angry
from their
with.
platform. Well, yeah,
I
but
mean,
those for many.
It was
other
more of
reasons.
in the case of how Disney is protective about their copyrights.
Yeah, but
It's-
Disney buys everything else, so it's weird.
It's
weird
poor
for me.
business. Like for instance, like Nintendo wanting 30% of whatever a streamer makes to make, back when a couple years ago, right? Like what a disgusting play.
That was
Yeah,
just
like
bad PR
people are
right
playing
there.
your games. That's like people are playing your games and doing it for like.
In an old school mindset, like this is not their I guess this is not their content. The music, the video is not owned by them. Why can you not stream a movie on there, but I can stream the entirety of Super Smash Brothers? That's why Sakurai doesn't make like videos. That's why he didn't make another Subspace Emissary or a story mode campaign, which had videos in it, because the videos just got leaked out online and it was perfectly legal or something.
I mean, this is what happens when you write the legislation.
Yeah, because I could say this for sure. Disney was the one. Disney were the ones Disney were the ones that made it so that it was a lot harder for works to get out of the copyright the public domain. In which case, anyone could use it. Because I think copyright domain used to be like a few years or so, but then they made it so it was down until 70. Okay, well,
Disney kept extending copyright so that Mickey Mouse can be something that they had. It was a thing.
And that's why they basically, and a part of me thinks that, well, this is probably confirmed, but, well, this is probably why I think they made a lot of those live action remakes so they can keep the copyrights and all the works that they own, like Beauty and the Beast.
I don't know, because
the ironic thing was,
right?
I don't think so. But the ironic thing is that a lot of those fairy tales they've made movies out of are now they were public domain at the time,
including Frost Queen, which is where they based Frozen from.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different story, by the way. Totally different story. They were going to do it more faithful initially, I think.
Yeah, and this because I think originally Elsa was supposed to be the villain. But
Frost Queen or whatever. So we're gonna start winding down a little bit. And
good, because the less we talk about Frozen, the better.
Oh, okay.
Reserve my. I would like to reserve my opinion.
Someone's going to say the exact line that I can't say. You can say it in the comments if you want. So while we wind down, is there any topics that are on your mind that you guys want to talk about? And I've got one more topic, and then we're going to we'll let you guys shout out whatever you want for a minute or so, and then we'll say good night to everyone.
Right, sounds good. Are we taking questions from the audience at all, or no?
Yes.
So yes, I don't think that we had many questions tonight because everyone was on there. People were like, I think there's a small flame war in the chat back and forth. But if you guys have any comments, any questions, let us know so that we can answer them, and we'll take them as they come. Right now, I'll be looking. In the meantime, do any of you guys have a story? If not, I can tell you one last news story, which is almost a news story.
Nothing in particular. Nothing, that I think everybody would be interested in. What do you got? What's the last news story?
Here's what I got. I got so it's something from Game Informer. Oh wait, I don't know if this is true now because this is from April 1st.
Okay. I like where this is going.
I don't know if this is true, but it says
Listen, if it's not, it will be by the end of this podcast.
it says the weird background art in your Pokemon trading cards is just stock photos.
Wait, what?
Oh, that cannot be true. That cannot be true. One, I mean, don't they own the copyright on those things? Like,
No, but
you don't
it's like,
just go and pick those up from stock.
look,
I don't know.
like behind the ponytail, it's just like grass. It could very well. It's very well probably a.
You might want to Snopes that.
Yeah, it totally was that. Oh my god. Because that would.
I would be
just
upset.
amazing.
I would be upset if they were just using stock images, but
I mean,
maybe,
I mean,
guess.
the rest of the cards are also just like the main artwork.
Yeah.
of-
Now, I myself, I don't
This is
collect the
probably
cards.
fake. Yeah, this is
But
probably fake.
I used to play Magic the Gathering. when I was in
Yeah.
high school and stuff like that.
I've got some of those cards
Um,
too here. We've got both.
Yeah, but I know that a lot of like Pokemon and stuff like that is the rage these days.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
man. No,
It's just
'cause,
not a better
I mean,
game though.
I had a lot of the cards, but I never knew how to play the game. Yu-Gi-Oh is what I knew how to play, kind of.
Right,
Yeah.
and Yu-Gi-Oh as well is pretty good. I have the Yu-Gi-Oh game for the Switch. I just don't. I don't know.
Is it
It never was
Yu-Gi-Oh?
my thing. Yeah, there's a
I think
Yu-Gi-Oh game.
had Magic the Gathering come out maybe 10 years earlier than
Oh
what
yeah.
it did, I would probably be more inclined to play those kind of games.
I think because
yeah.
why would never mind.
But I mean, they're hot. It was just at the transition point of when I turned like 18 and
Oh,
kind of like, started a
that's
family. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Let's bring this around. Let's first of all thank you, My170 and Unjacked. And we were going to have
My
Jask
pleasure.
here, but Jask had his puppy got lost. No, I don't know. There was a power outage by him, and there were other issues that caused him to not be here. He actually does have a puppy, so it would be pretty sad if that did happen. But we miss you, Jask. I wish you could be here to meet or some of these lovely fellows. But we're gonna give you a shout out anyways. In addition to that, My170 and Jask, in no particular order. I guess let's go with Unjacked first.
And
You
then
can
you
shout
said
out-
jazz, and I thought you were about to say jazz.
Unjazz.
And then you're about, and I'm thinking unjacked is like, am I a joke to you? And I took
Am I a
that personally. And I took that personally.
No, it's all good.
Not at all. But Unjacked, you have the floor now to promote anything you like, be it cheddar cheese or your Twitch channel.
Okay, no worries. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. I stream Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I quit an hour early, but at the end of the day, I play community games. If you want to play a game with me, all you gotta do is show up. We're playing mostly Among Us, and that's because it's the best game ever, and you can't change my mind. No, I'm kidding. I'm a variety streamer, so on Fridays usually I'll play something different. But right now we are playing Among Us. We do move into Jackbox and plenty of other games. Come on out and see me. I'm on Jacked on Twitch, and I hope to see you there.
And he's doing art streams soon, I hear. And we're gonna do
We'll see about that.
and we're gonna do worms at some point. We'll figure it out. Just let's get in a DM. We'll figure this out. My
All right, sounds
170.
good.
Yes, so my name is Mike, MY170. I am a variety streamer as well, mostly specializing in Nintendo games as well as retro and some indie games as well. I mostly stream at night on mostly every day except for Wednesday. Weekdays I usually stream at 8 o'clock, and then weekends I stream at 7 usually.
It's time zone. EST.
Oh, Easter time. Yes, Easter time. So for those of you, we're all in the same time zone.
Yeah.
Currently, currently I mostly do 2 games at a time. Currently, I'm doing The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which I'm doing tomorrow, and Chrono Trigger, which I'll be doing later in the week. You can go to my channel and check that. And I also sometimes do Mario Maker, and I take viewer levels, and I also do other multiplayer games like Mario Kart. Sometimes I do Jackbox. Sometimes I do Town of Salem or Among Us, which Town of Salem I have not done in a while. And then I do a bunch of other stuff, which and tabletop simulator, but Settlers of Catan I also do as well. So I do a lot of cool stuff.
Oh,
and I like to have a lot of people in my chat. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, please go and check me out.
Head on down to my 170 and unjacked for some good times. You guys may know me. I'm Pocket. I talk too much. By the way, so thank you so much. You guys are both are obviously welcome back.
And thank you.
Of course,
appreciate it.
Just any. I was gonna say just about any time. I don't know how I do these things. It's a rotating cast. We are going to be ending the podcast, semi-officially now. So thank you everyone for being here, but stick around because we're going to be rating someone else. We don't know who this is yet. What we would love to do is find someone who needs the love. Anyone who needs the love, and send it over there. Someone who interacts with chat, who doesn't have that many followers. So if you have a suggestion of that person, send them in the chat. If not, I will find them very quickly. And give our guests a round of applause for being here and putting up with
Thank you,
me.
everybody. Appreciate it. Man, nice being here.
Right?
Thank you, Pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
It was nice, staying with both of you guys. So
Awesome.
absolutely.
Yes, I'll definitely check out yours. I'll definitely check out your both of your. Well, I've already seen yours, but unjacked. I'll definitely check out yours.
You know what?
too.
Jask is here. Let's give him a guilt trip.
He's
He's still live.
He's still live. I don't know how long he's gonna be live.
We're not gonna give him an actual guilt trip, guys. We're just gonna send him love. We're sorry he couldn't make it, and we will raid him. Someone come up with a raid message. Okay, that should work. For some reason, the chat box in OBS takes about 20 seconds to load. What I type, so it will be rating him once it does. Oh, I think that worked.
All right.
1 second.
Go time.
It's almost there.
There it is.
Is it going? Because it might cancel itself. That's the magic.
There we go. We're going. Let's give him some love.
Let's give him some love. Someone, yes. Send that love. Whatever raid message you guys want. Probably just say we miss you. It's gonna feel so bad. No, don't. Well, say we miss you. That's fine. That's fine. That's not. He's a great dude. He's a great dude.
All right, send it. Let's do this, guys.
Is it? Let me know when we're safe.
Just a copy. Hang on. Let me copy the raid message.
Let me know when we are safe. Then I'll end the stream.
Oh, did you start the raid yet? Oh, okay, you did.
Did I? I don't know. Did it go through?
No, it says you're about to raid with 11 raiders on there, so I guess you just have to press start. I guess you can do it.
So it's gonna raid in 5, 4, 3.
Let's go.
2.
Bye.
Bye.
See if that works.
Didn't still showing you. I'm just waving still.
Sweet. Yeah, I see you waving.
15 seconds.
You should be able to hit start raid and then it'll take you to Jazz.
It's just an issue with OBS. Just a second.
It shows up fine when I use slobs, but
for some reason,
Hope the raid's been canceled.
it has.
Oh, nuts.
That was a joke.
We ride again.
Let's see who else is streaming.
There you go. Go ahead and start it. You got 11 raiders.
We got 11 raiders. Ready to tap to raid now.
Yep.
There we go.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Peace.
Yay!